Hello everyone! Welcome to Messy Heart, where we dive deep into troubling accounts and messy relationships, hoping to provide support and advice to those who might seek it. Let's head into our first story. Listen carefully and give us your thoughts on the comments section. Story 1. Best friend cheated on her husband. Both are my friends. Some backstory: I know both for years now. She's my close friend, and her husband and I were colleagues/friends growing up, and we work together now in the same office. Felt very serendipitous when they got married. I've never seen her this way, and she finally met someone who swept her off her feet. They've been married for 3 years now. She's the breadwinner in their relationship, and often she complains that he never fulfills his promises, mainly financial, and she's always pulling the weight in the relationship. Aside from that, both are great people. He's a hardworking guy, he's just not where he wants to be yet. Moving on, recently my BFF and I went on a girls' trip. 3 of us made our way down to Nicaragua for some eat, pray, love vibes. Town we stayed in was a beach town with bars, cafes, and restaurants. Our intent was to go for fitness, spas, and relaxation, but we didn't expect there to be a vibrant nightlife. Fast forward, there's only a couple bars in the neighborhood, and the first night we went to a bar and got on with the bartenders. I did not expect the men to be so attractive either. My married friend was hitting it off with one of the bartenders, and she ended up staying out all night while my other friends and I went back to sleep. We didn't see her until noon the next day, which is totally out of character for her. Turned out she slept with the bartender. The second night we venture off to another bar, and she met one of the locals out and ends up sleeping with him too. Things got carried away, and she spends the rest of the week there with bartender boy. She was neglecting her phone the entire trip, which resulted in her husband blowing myself and my friend up the entire trip because he couldn't get a hold of her. She also turned off her location so he couldn't see that she wasn't at the Airbnb for 5 days. She even extended her trip 2 extra says to stay with said bartender. I've been dealing with flight delays, and while I'm exhausted, I haven't had time to digest this trip or why she cheated. Totally out of character for her. I'm back home in the States now, and she's still in Nicaragua. Meanwhile, I have to work tomorrow, and her husband is also my co-worker. I have no idea how I'm going to cover for her or what's the right things to do. Any advice welcome. What piece of advice would you give to OP? Let us know down in the comments, and let's move on to our next story. Story 2. My fiancée left 6 weeks ago with a goodbye note. Out of nowhere, she wants to fix things. How would you handle this? I was with my fiancée for the last 8 years, engaged for 1. All of my friends and family disliked her. However, she was with me when I had nothing and was nothing. She was the love of my life, and although she had flaws, she was perfect for me. I loved her so much but hated living paycheck to paycheck. I wanted a home, a family, a career. I wanted to be a provider. I decided to change our lives. I spent the last 5 years building and creating a career that could sustain our future forever. But in doing so, I was there less for her. I was under a lot of pressure constantly and just begged her to hang on. I asked her to trust me. The plan was to get married and start our new lives in January. But it took too long for her. She began talking to more and more male friends, sometimes staying up late and talking to them on the phone while I slept. She became physically and emotionally distant. I tried to fix things, but the harder I tried, the further she pulled away. Things kept getting worse until one day I came home to an empty apartment. She had packed her things, moved money into a separate account, and left me with a goodbye note. I sat on the living room floor and cried that night, and for several nights was absolutely crushed. It was very dark for the first few weeks. The last 5 years of my life all seemed to have been for nothing. I was trying to build a future for us, not for me. Now it felt as though I was crossing the finish line alone. If I had known this path would cause me lose her in the process, I never would have pursued it. About a week ago, she reached out to me and we talked about everything. She said she still loved me and wanted to make things work, but just could not be alone anymore. She claims that nothing ever happened with any of the guys she talked to and that they were truly just friends. She says she didn't have anyone to talk to and was just lonely and miserable. She felt alone in her relationship. She wants to do couples counseling and see if we can make things work. All of my friends and family who never liked her claim it's because of her constant dishonesty. They say she is not an honest person and are basically telling me to run and never look back. Despite all of the pain she's caused me, I still love and care for her so much. I tried to fix things many times, but she never reciprocated any of my attempts. In fact, when I was at the peak of genuinely trying to be the best man for her that I could, she left me without saying a word. The day she left, she told me she loved me and to have a good day. As soon as I left, she immediately began packing her things. I just didn't understand how she could run away like that without saying anything. After 8 years, I don't even get a face-to-face goodbye? Just felt like the ultimate betrayal. How could someone that loves me cause me so much pain? I just don't understand why try to fix things now after causing me so much pain. I'm worried about trust and loyalty. How can I ever know if I won't come home to an empty house again? I just don't know what's true and what's not true anymore. Seems like she has been lying for a while, which is why so many of the people in my life didn't like her. They've since told me some of the lies she's told them. Now I wonder, was she lying to me too? Every part of me wants to do counseling and pour everything into making this work. I want her back. I want our old lives back. I will finally have the time to be there again. But everyone is telling me you're an idiot. Has anyone been in this situation before? I genuinely don't know what to do. Share your thoughts with us and let's move on to our next story. Story 3. My friend injured my eye and I lost half my vision. How do I continue this friendship? I'm 26F in dental school right now, and my friends and I went to play badminton at school. I was with one partner and we were playing really well. Then we wanted to rotate partners, so I got paired with a girl. I'll call her Dana. She doesn't really play sports, but it seemed like she really wanted to be my partner. So I said sure. While playing, we bumped into each other a lot. I don't think she's very good at sports. When I called on the birdie, she would still go for it. Long story short, we collided once more, but this time she swung her racket directly on my eye. I lost my vision for 2 hours and I went to the ER. It was just gray. Nothing else. But she was laughing the entire time. I feel like it was nervous laughter. I tried to stay calm and positive just because all my friends were there. We're also going to be in the same class for the next 4 years and I didn't want to create tension. Either way, I noticed the entire time she was just laughing. She went to the ER with me, but she was still kinda nervously laughing. I had to go to the ophthalmologist next morning at 8 a.m. and the tests they did on me were uncomfortable and painful. It made me think about how I'm spending the one day during dental school where I could have taken a break. Instead, I spent it there and I was dilated that I couldn't study the entire day. Everything was blurry for about 7 hours. Doctors said I have damage on my retina and some bleeding in the back of my eye. My vision should return in 1 to 4 months, but there's a risk this vision loss could be permanent. And then there was a get-together with the same friends and she was there. She was laughing the entire time again and joked about my eye too. She doesn't seem to understand the severity of the situation and it irks me. Now I want to ask her for compensation. Cover all my Uber fees going to and from the hospital. And my optometry appointment fees. I didn't go to class today because my eye didn't feel great and I didn't want to see her face either. Today she went for sushi with our classmates and I saw the group photo and she's smiling so widely it bothers me even more. I don't really know how to handle this situation. I don't want to create drama or tension. I also don't want to affect my relationships with my other friends in our friend group. But I'm fucking pissed, man. And scared that this could be permanent. How do I continue this friendship? I don't know how to handle this. I don't think her parents know either. I didn't tell my parents because they're going on a Europe trip and I don't want to worry them when they finally got a vacation. I just feel stuck. How about that one? Let us have your thoughts and advice down in the comments section. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to check out our other videos and, as always, like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Never forget that your smile is your best feature. Wear it proudly. See ya!